and welcome everybody to another episode of the British Columbia Real Estate Podcast. It's episode number 10, and I'm back in the studios. It's me, Ricky J, with the one and only Jeff Chadha, JC Holmes, back from a hiatus.
I guess you could say that. I'm not gonna say we're doing a pilgrimage. Look at my hair. God, I even grew a beard.
There you go.
It's funny, but some clients, we had to give them their keys yesterday. Mm-hmm. And as we pulled up to the house, or the townhouse, they didn't even recognize me. And I'm like, hey guys, it's Jeff. They go, no, we're waiting for our realtor. I'm like, yeah, that's me. They go, oh, you look so different. I'm like, yeah, it's the beard.
It's the time, And of course, guys, like I always say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you want to learn all about living in British Columbia and if you want to stay up to date on what's going on, especially in the Lower Mainland in terms of real estate. And we love your guys' questions. Make sure you guys definitely drop us a comment in the comment box, or you can also email us as well. And if you're thinking about moving around to the Lower Mainland or anywhere in British Columbia, the number will be down below. Definitely give us a call. We have your back when it comes to moving around in British Columbia.
And with that being said, I know we haven't had a chance to make our videos as normal once a week. Unfortunately, we've just been so busy. But Ricky has taken it upon himself to go in and around town on his bike and look at all the lovely people in this nice hot weather. We should really talk to your wife about that. By the way. We'll see how she feels about your driving around, or not driving around, riding the bike around.
I didn't get to post the one blooper I had there about somebody thought I was filming them changing through the far distance, which wasn't true. But we might even put that in the blooper section eventually for you guys in another video, okay? But
and I also want to say, Mandeep, thank you for subscribing, commenting, calling, messaging about your real estate questions. Your hoodie is on the way. That's right, we got our new shipment that just came in. So we will be sending one out to you very shortly here.
The new merch drop, guys, JC Holmes, all right? It's arrived. So you guys will be receiving that soon. Now, diving right into this episode number 10, Jeff. This question has been asked a lot, and it still keeps being asked from people, is they want to know what's been going on in the market. Primarily, Surrey area and surrounding areas, in terms of, have you found that it's been about, in terms of activity, has it been about the same, or are you finding still into multiple offer
Rick,
situations?
There's that question's a really good question. Mm-hmm. It's not just you asking it. A lot of people are asking that question. Mm-hmm. And it's not just my fellow colleagues and, realtors are getting asked this question. Mortgage brokers are also getting asked this question a lot, right? Financial advisors, almost anybody that it comes to money in real estate, it's getting asked this question. It's not why is this happening, it's what is going on and what we should do. So it's a very tricky answer, right? Because, we're in a new world with the whole COVID. Now, there is a light at the end of the tunnel here. We're seeing, that things are getting opened up. People are starting to feel almost normal again, right?
Barely see people with masks on. I'm like the only person wearing a mask most of the time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right? Even when you go into even our office building, you don't need to wear a mask anymore, right? Going into the hallways, right? But so it is opening things up. Now, what does that mean for our market? Well, I've always said this time and time again, I'm not a psychic, right? I don't bloody know what's going to happen in 4 or 5 months. Look at our bloody gas prices.
Oh my!
Right?
I wanted to talk about that.
I think it's more expensive than even in India right now.
I think so. Right? I just know it's ridiculous.
So, and I've talked about that before. I'm not a government official. I don't know what goes on to politics down there. But could there be a relation with all the CERB money that went out? And the government trying to get their money back, and maybe gas is one of the way. I don't know.
Inflation,
right? Is it plausible? Sure, anything is plausible, right? So, I don't know, but jumping back into the real estate market, what's going on? So, once again, we like to concentrate in Surrey or the Fraser Valley area. More importantly, Surrey.
Yes.
Right. Now, we're not getting as many of these crazy multiple offers as we were before. Right? Okay. We still are getting few here and there, but it's definitely not how it was, 2-3 months ago.
Like March time?
Right? Yeah, it's, it was common to get 10, 15 offers. We still are seeing subject-free offers, but it's not as common as it was a few months ago. No, we're starting to see offers come back with subjects now again. Mm-hmm. Now, what's contributing to these multiple offer styles is, it's pricing. If something's worth 1.5 million and I price it on the market for 999, obviously I'm expecting multiple offers. Is that fair to the buyers out there? Of course not. Right? Let's be real. Is it fair to the sellers? Well, the sellers just want to get the damn price. Right? There are different strategies out there. So that was one of the major contributing factors, is that I'm not saying all realtors, but a lot of realtors didn't know how to price in this crazy time market. And an easy thing to do is underprice it, right? Price it. If it was worth 1.4, price it for 999, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It was a common trend. We don't really like doing that. We like pricing for market value, but to each their own.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so like I said, what we're seeing is we are seeing, I would say, decline, right? I'm not saying the market is crashing. We were in an artificial market, Rick, right?
Yeah.
We had this market before too, right? So it's no surprise. BCers, we should almost kind of be accustomed to these artificial markets. We have these every now and then, right?
Yeah.
So if people say, oh, the market's going to crash, well, it's not really crashing. It's coming back to the level where it should be, right? It's normalizing out, right? So something that's sold for 200 over asking, is it going to drop back down to, 200,000? No, right? Maybe the whole over asking stuff that went on, it was because the pricing wasn't right and artificial. Maybe instead of it being listed at $999, it probably should have sold for $1.35. But with the whole craziness that was going on, it probably went for $1.5. Now, $1.5 wasn't the real price point. If we brought it back down to market value, it'd probably be $1.35. So could prices start easing back down to those levels? Maybe eventually, right? But here is the really, really, really tricky part about Surrey. We have a lot of people that have a lot of pride in Surrey and a lot of ego,
A lot of ego.
and that will slow down the process of prices coming down so much in Surrey. Surrey is still very, very, very affordable compared to a lot of things, but it's not always going to be that way. Hell, I mean, today, look at the SkyTrain announcement.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's right. True,
Right? And
right?
Trudeau even announced it. I think 1.3 billion, was it, or something like that? They're dumping into it.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
a
listening to that.
huge thing. We talked about this in other videos about how transportation will open up pipelines and open up the population growth in other areas. Right? This is huge news for Langley. This is huge for Surrey, and especially the Fleetwood area. It's huge.
Fleetwood.
This is also huge for Aldergrove, Abbotsford, stone throw away. Right? So this does close the gap, making things much easier. So getting back to Surrey.
Yeah.
Now, Rick, I've shown you this diagram before, right?
This is really good. And it makes a lot of sense, actually.
I mean, how are we going to show them?
We'll try showing it somehow through, because we have, thank you to all our listeners on all audio platforms as well. So it's going to be kind of tricky. So we'll try our best. I mean, we always try directing people to the YouTube channel, but we'll try to put something up there for you guys, some kind of diagram of what Jeff's drawing here. But
So how about I explain it
yes,
right
yes,
now?
totally fine.
Right?
Yep.
So this is without the diagram, but I'm sure Rick will.
It'll make sense.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I always tell a lot of my clients is think of the Lower Mainland as a bottle, right? Now the bottom of the bottle is obviously usually bigger, thicker.
Crown Royal bottle.
Right.
No, just-
I haven't drank in a while, so
Speak
kind
for
of
yourself.
forgot what.
Yeah, no, it's-
But think of it as usually the base of the bottle is bigger, right? And then as you go up, it gets smaller into the bottleneck, right? Now I always tell a lot of my clients, think of the bottom of the bottle like Vancouver, Richmond, Burnaby, West Van, North Van, New West, right? Even Coquitlam, right? Think of that as the bottom of the bottle.
Okay.
Now, when people or residents of those areas had those properties, they could have got lucky and it could have got inherited to them. They could have bought it a while ago. Maybe they say they bought it in the 80s, 90s, even the 2000s, right? So let's just say a standard. Well, I'm going to use Vancouver for this analogy here. 33 by 122 Vancouver Special. Let's say that these clients were lucky enough to get this property a long time ago and they got it for $900K. Okay. Now that property is worth 2.2.
Okay.
Crazy difference, right?
Yes.
Crazy difference. So now they get that 2.2, and where are they going to move? Now, most likely, they're probably not going to stay in Vancouver. to buy the same property that you sold. Makes no sense.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So most people want to upgrade. So what they do with City of Surrey ever so expanding so much, they get that huge profit they made and they come over the bridge this way, and they find a great piece of land and a great home, and they still have money in the bank, which is great. So somebody might buy another property. Now that's great for the bottom of the bottleneck people, right? So the top of the bottleneck is really more like Surrey. Now, reason why I say Surrey is the top of the bottleneck is because when all Vancouver, Richmond, Burnaby, when they all came this way, it was still close enough to Vancouver airport that didn't really affect their travel too much. And they get a great piece of land over here. Now, let's look at these residents. And you gotta remember, the Surrey is huge.
Surrey's huge.
Land mass, right? It's huge, right? We have a lot of people here, and there's still a lot of land, right?
I'm from a small town, remember? So for me, Surrey, Vancouver is massive. I don't even like traveling. I just stay here. Even though
Aren't you on the bike all the time?
Yeah,
No,
but that's within Vancouver and Surrey,
right,
yes.
right,
but
right.
BC, only BC, yes. I
So
love BC. Yeah.
now, so the issue comes here is that when you have Surrey residents that sold their home, maybe they can't make that big jump like the Vancouver people did, Richmond did, because they got the nice profit now. Now, where are they going to go? They want to upgrade too. In order to see those same kind of profit margin or keep that money in the bank, usually they might have to go further east. They might have to go, well, before it was Langley, but Langley is now caught up.
Yeah.
Right? Abbotsford, Chilliwack, Hope.
Lots of development all
Right?
over the place.
And people that usually live in Surrey usually work Surrey, Burnaby, Vancouver, west side. Right? People who usually live in Chilliwack will most likely won't go work past Abbotsford. Some of them do, but the majority will probably be Chilliwack, Hope, Abbotsford. So you have that Highway 1 distance, right? So people who are in Surrey most likely won't probably travel so far away. So the number of people leaving Surrey to the number of people coming in is vast different. There's a reason why Surrey is rapidly growing, right? And more schools are opening up, more townhouse developments, because our population is growing here. So what that means for the market is Surrey prices are a little bit more stable. They're not really coming down as much. You're not really seeing, a list price of 1.9 and it's selling for 1.6, right? You're seeing right around the numbers of where they should be. There's so much competition here still. So that's what makes Surrey a little bit difficult. The other problem right now, what we're facing, is we had a lot of people who sold their properties, right, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And now they're in a rush to buy, right? We're coming to the end of summer in terms of if we're looking at completion dates of August time. A lot of families are trying to get into the property before school starts.
Oh,
so they
okay.
have their kids enrolled
yes.
in their schools.
Got it.
So that's another problem that we face when we're going to buying a property right now, is we have so many people looking for the same kind of things already. And now we have the school rush, and then we have the people that already sold their properties, now they're rush. So you have this little circus,
Yes,
right?
It's a big wave.
Of different style of buyers, and they're all coming around Surrey. Now you do have other municipalities too. Don't get me wrong. Prices are still record highs everywhere. Sales are still happening. We're not seeing a crazy decline in sales. Sales are still happening, right? But like I said, the style of the sale, we're not getting these 20, 30 multiple offers anymore, right? So with Surrey being the way it is, one of the issues that we're having, I just talked about this with another client, is we're getting a lot of emotional buyers, right? And that's fine. Buying is a very emotional thing.
We talked about it in the previous video.
But what the issue happens is, how do you justify analyzing the market on an educated factor versus an emotional factor, right? Doing your research, analyzing the market, saying, okay, well, according to this, I should be paying this much, right? Now, great. Granted, I understand that your facts are there, the market's there, you've done your research, this should be going for this, but we're not in a should-be market, right? We have a lot of emotional buyers, and we have a lot of people with money still, right? And they need to buy. So our analytics are out the window. Right?
Yeah.
If the property should have only sold for 1.1, but it sold for 1.5, I got no bloody answer for you. Right? And that's the real truth. It's hard for, everyone wants to think that a realtor has all the answers. We don't. And that's the reality. We don't have all the answers. We assist you with your purchase, assist you with all your needs when it comes to real estate, but we're not fortune tellers. Right? We do help in terms of getting you where you need to be. But I don't know one realtor that can 100% say and put their life on it and say, oh, that home will go up by 20% in 2 years. I don't know how you can say that. I would love to meet that realtor, right? Because I'll give them all my money and say invest for me.
You would say, well, could you say it's a more safer bet if someone's looking obviously for a long-term investment, say 20 plus years? You could be like, hey, that's more of a better investment if somebody's looking for.
I have no bloody idea.
I'm just.
Let's say
I'm
right now.
ask for that.
No, I get it. But let's say right now. Let's say you're saying a long-term investment. I don't even know what that happened in 3 months. Right now, let's say long-term investment. A damn meteorite hits, and or a fire happens, or something happens. Is that a good long-term investment? You just lost all your money. I have no idea.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah. Typically,
if we're gonna go theoretical basis, theoretically basis, like I said, Surrey has a lot of growth, right? The SVU towers are coming in, the new high-rises are coming in, a lot of developments coming in here, right?
Downtown's cleaned up a lot.
It's a lot cleaned up. A lot. Why don't you take a bike there?
I will be, actually. There's a lot more videos, guys. It's coming, okay? Trust me. Just let me know if there's a specific one you guys want me to shoot. I'll do it. I'll even go anywhere in British Columbia, all right? Just for you guys.
So sorry, the growth and everybody knows this. We don't script our shows. This is the way we talk. We'd rather be real and uncut. Less the swearing. People know me. I swear a lot, but there's no swearing on this. But
we don't want to get demonetized.
But it's like I said, it's more about being real and our thoughts and opinions, right?
Of course.
What do I see with happening with the market right now? It's very hard to tell, Rick. It is, right? We are seeing signs of buyers getting frustrated, right? It's evident with the offers, right? And it's not just buyers; it's realtors too getting annoyed, right? Because how many times in my fellow realtors we've put an offer when there's 10 or 15 offers out there and we lose, right? And it makes no sense. Like, well, why did we lose? Why did we lose? Should have gone this way.
I've been in the office with you guys so many times, and the phone would just go off and just be like, "No, it's been sold." It's been sold. Like, I was like, "How much time do you guys waste just like responding to people with that?" Like,
well, usually, I mean, we're selling it almost like once a week type of thing when we have the properties.
Yeah, right? And then so many people are just calling about the same property, right?
Oh,
like, that's what it seems like, or like same properties.
So I mean, Rick, like you said, for market prediction wise, Surrey's pretty stable in terms of pricing. Inventory's coming out all the time. But when we go back to that bottleneck diagram I was talking about, where I really like to see people invest and where I'm looking to myself right now is you got to think outside the box a little bit here, right? I like Mission right now.
I know a lot of people don't that way.
I've been saying this before and before. There's a lot of traction heading there. Our population growth is there. And in no which way am I putting down the city of Mission, but the city of Mission had a little bit of a bad rep before, right? Whether it been, because the jail's up there, right? Gang affiliations, right, were known to be a lot in Mission. A lot of grow-up properties were in Mission, right? So Mission had a little bit of a bad rep before. Not to say that it's not a beautiful place. There's gorgeous places up there in Mission.
Oh, yeah.
But it's now coming around, especially, now that medicinal has been legalized, right? That faux pas of marijuana is gone, right? Which is great, right? People can now look past the stigma of marijuana in Mission and now start looking at the beauty of it, right? So there's a lot of growth. That's why I really like Mission. I'm talking a lot about Mission right now because I really see there's a lot of growth dynamic going to be happening there, right? Homes are still affordable. You can still get a home in Mission with a rental suite under $1 million, right? I mean,
a lot of people request that too.
Yeah, we get that all the time, especially investors and everything, right? We'll talk another video about townhouse or strata buying versus detached buying.
Yes.
We talked something about that.
That was actually supposed to be this video, but this one got put in front of that one, basically.
And that video will be more about an investor's strategy of what you should do, townhome or detached, and why, and pros and cons.
Yes,
right?
Yes, it's going to be all of those.
But like I said, I see a lot of growth potentially coming in Mission, just because I'm studying the market, I'm seeing my trends. And remember, Rick, a few months ago, we were talking about another market prediction, and we touched about immigration.
I was just about to ask about the immigration. Do you feel that might be the wild card into
it definitely is, Rick. I mean, we've talked about this before, and it's funny how the media just started talking about this a week ago when we've been talking about it months ago.
That's right.
Right. One of the biggest X factors that's out there is this is not even a foreign buyer. These are Canadian passport holders overseas, about 300,000 of them that are Canadian passport holders. They're not foreign buyers. They're Canadian passport holders.
And there's supposed to be over 1,000 every month coming straight to Surrey.
There's
right?
a lot. I'm in talks to a lot of my immigration friends, and they're telling me there's a big wave expected to come, not only from China but also India. Right now, this COVID had a very, very negative effect on India. Right, it was one of the hardest hit countries in the world.
Still going.
Right, it's still going. And Canada was one of the best countries in the world for vaccinations and healthcare and all this stuff. So a lot of people from India saw this, and now they're gonna liquidate, or not even liquidate. They just have so much money there. They're trying to buy properties here because of our healthcare system, because of everything's happening, because of the horrible, horrible treatment that was happening in India with the whole COVID and how they were handling it. Right,
it's tough with that kind of population too. Right?
Well,
India's
but,
insane.
like I said, I'm not trying to talk down about India, but this one thing about us on our show here is, we're straight up, right? There's been TikTok videos and all these things about these doctors, like doctors in India couldn't even get COVID relief, right? These politicians and all these secret VIP backdoor things were screwing things up.
Yeah.
So what that means is the average person, the citizen in India that were seeing these kind of things were like, screw this, right? If our own country, our own government is not even helping us, not even helping the doctors who are supposed to help us, maybe we should look at our own safety.
Of course.
And we land here, right? So do I see immigration being a huge factor? Huge.
Yeah, I think so.
Huge factor, right? Yes, we did have our stress test. Yeah, we had that, right?
Did you find that even with the stress test buyer qualification?
No, I didn't see too much of a difference,
Okay.
to be honest. It was so minute, but that can also be contributed to COVID opening up, all these kind of things, right? I can't really 100% say that had a crazy impact on it.
There's probably obviously some buyers trying to squeeze out deals in between.
Oh,
right?
yeah. There were some here and there, right? But that goes more into the mortgage world side of things. But in terms of real estate, action-wise, did I see a drop? Not so much, right?
Okay.
But now getting back to immigration, right? So with the stress test that came in, it was trying to bring down the market or slow it down the pace. These things were put in place here, and people accepted it, right? But one factor that we can't account for is what's going to happen with immigration. I mean, how many people are going to come here? Are they going to fuel this fire again, and things are going to go crazy again? I don't know. I really don't know.
My prediction, just the sheer prediction, guys, just don't listen to a random guy on YouTube here. But I think that immigration, like in terms of immigration, most people most likely would look at Vancouver and Toronto, right? I would say in most cases. And I think Winnipeg up until the last couple of years has been doing really well. Ottawa as well. Most people are looking for affordability. Now, when they look at Vancouver, it's not really affordable, let's be real, right? So let's start looking outwards more. Let's start looking at Surrey, right? Okay, Surrey might not be affordable for some people, which, for some people, obviously it's not. It's still expensive here, but it's beautiful. Some people, okay, let's go to Fraser Valley. Let's go further out. Let's look at Prince George. Let's look at Okanagan, let's look at these different options. But I mean, overall, like I find that BC, even like traveling wherever I've traveled to all the other different places, I still, even Montreal, like everywhere, I still find that, not just saying because I'm from BC, I still find BC probably the most beautiful place in the world. But I mean, I'd find most immigration, even coming from India or wherever, I think that they would love to come to Vancouver, like they have been over these past couple of, like centuries, whatever, right? Since immigration's ever has been begun, whatever. But
we don't have all the stats on immigration. Anything Rick says is not the viewpoint of the BC Real Estate Podcast.
Pure speculation, guys.
This is just all Rick's personal opinions, right?
It is, guys. Sorry. You guys let me go on a tangent here. That's what happens, all right? But
that's why we really limit Rick's vocals on these things, right?
Sorry, guys. But I'm just trying to rep British Columbia, all right? I feel that most immigration will probably kind of look at Vancouver and surrounding areas first.
They do. There's a reason why our province has been rated one of the best places to live in. There's a reason consecutively. There's a reason. So you're right on that point. Now, well, getting back to a little bit of the real estate topic here,
Yeah.
we've talked about the stress test a little bit. We talked about emotional buying. We talked about the immigration factor, right? Overall, what's going to happen with the market? It's still very tough to predict.
Are prices coming down? This is what people ask all the time. I'm looking for a good deal. Like, this is super
Looking
common.
for a good deal.
Yeah.
So
Like-
you get all that asked all the time. Hey, I'm looking for a good deal. You got a good deal out there? You call me. Right? But like I said, I don't see prices coming slashing down. What goes up always comes down. What goes down goes up, type of thing. All that kind of stuff, right? There's rises and falls and everything, right? It'd be foolish to think that our economy is going to continue to go up, 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 up. What? Then no one's going to be able to afford to live here. We're going to become like a ghost town, right? Unless our economy kicks in and helps out with it, right? So do I see a crazy rise? No, I don't. I personally, I don't see how the affordability factor is there right now, right? I do see stabilization, right, and adjustments, right? But adjustments are also done by our government too, by the stress tests and all these kind of things, right? But to answer the question, Rick, do I see the prices slashing down? I don't, right? I see them normalizing out,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And I see the activity, the listings to actual sales, start changing, right? We've talked about this before in the past. Inventory, supply and demand.
How is the inventory
Right.
compared to before? Would you say it's better? More properties on the market compared to last time? Was it around the same?
I'm sorry. Realistically, we're seeing. I mean, I haven't
Surrey?
seen that many. To tell you the truth, I mean, I've pulled up my facts here when I was looking. Oh, that one just ended. There's another one up here. Well, I don't know what the hell it is. Screw it.
No worries. No worries. Yeah.
But we are still seeing more sold. What that tells us that we have a lot of buyers out there still.
Still
right?
waiting on the
So
sideline.
the second a listing gets put up, it's like blood in the water. Sharks are out there.
A lot of people got pushed out of the market, right? Multiple offers, this and that. They're still looking.
And we've talked about this in our rental topic before. When a condo buyer who's wanted to buy a one-bedroom condo can no longer afford to buy that condo, he has to force to rent. That creates a lot more renters out there, and we don't have enough places to rent. Raise our rental market higher, which will cause our real estate prices to go higher, and yada 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 yada. All that lovely
I
stuff.
was also doing some more research about this, like inflation as well. I found how they said that when inflation is high, real estate does well, all the time.
When inflation's high, real estate
Yeah,
is high?
like high inflation, which is obviously bad for us, right? But I mean, they're saying it's good for real estate.
Well, people made money
Research.
somewhere.
Yeah, I guess I just hate the gas prices, guys. Right? It's just
Well,
will it hit
I mean,
$2? That's gonna be your next.
You're
video.
always going to have someone that's making a lot of money in every scenario. I mean, the whole crypto age and everything. Now everyone's saying crypto's down. Everyone's worrying about it.
Long term,
right?
it's all good. Not financial advice.
But those
guys.
people that made a lot of money in crypto, they bought properties. But here's another thing that people are now starting to realize here. Nothing with crypto, right? Because Rick's gonna get mad at me.
You guys want to go off on crypto? We'll save that for another YouTube channel.
But
Don't worry.
with COVID regulations opening up a bit, I'm seeing this myself with my own family, not my cousins and all that kind of stuff. That wedding season is coming back with a vengeance. And
back.
Come on, Rick, you're a DJ. You
back.
got
It's
got
back.
the music.
It's
What I mean?
back. It's back. It's back.
And so you had these people before that weren't even doing receptions, weren't even thinking about it, and saving $100,000. They were dumping into real estate. Now those people maybe think, okay, well, I'll think about real estate next year. Let me get my party going. Let me get my party going. Let me get that vacation going. Let me get that car. You know what I mean? We're starting to shift back to that norm mindset, not a normalization world, but that mindset, right? And so, where before people couldn't have those parties, so they had money burning in the bank, they would be investing, right? Now they're going back to these things. So will that have a shift in the market too? That will also have a strong shift as well. During COVID, people were forced savings, right? Because they had nothing to spend it on, right? Now things are opening up again, right? Halls are back open again, right?
Beautiful.
Shoot, I mean, Vancouver allowed public drinking, right?
Honestly, as I've been shooting these
I just
videos,
wanted to mention that. I had nothing to do with anything. I just wanted to mention Vancouver allowed public drinking.
as I've been shooting these videos for you guys for
You
this
look at me
channel.
being drunk.
No, man. Could not be biking.
This is
drunk.
water, by the
Trust
way.
me, I would not last. We were going on 30 to 50 kilometer bike rides, as you guys are gonna see. So definitely not drinking. Maybe at the end there was a little bit, but not during.
You're admitting to being drunk and driving on a
No,
bike. Yeah,
man.
that's right.
After.
So VPD, if I can give you his number,
No, please don't. No, but I was just saying, like, it just seems like everything is kind of not 100% back, but it almost does. Like, I was at, Spanish Banks shooting a video for you guys, and nobody was wearing a mask. I was actually probably the only person with a mask. I still wear a mask all the time, except for, like, here in the office because of the video. But I felt so alone. Like, there was nobody with a mask. And I was just like, wow, we're already back to almost somewhat normal. It seemed like, to a certain extent.
Well, that's what I mean. I think we're trying to force our mindset to get back to normal.
Right? I think a lot of people are like, we're vaccinated, we're back to normal.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like. Even though I don't agree with that.
And I'm hoping and praying everything does go back to normal. And the tragedy and the pandemic that the whole world was in, hopefully it's nearing its ending stages.
Hope so.
Hopefully.
Yes.
So but with that being said, getting back to real estate here. What's going to happen with the market? I'm going to say this time and time again, Rick. I don't know right now. I have no idea, right?
Okay, that concludes this. No, that's good though. Okay, so again.
Well, Rick, we're not going to bore people with statistics, stats. Okay, this is doing 6.9%. That's doing 3. Man, forget all that stuff, right? Let's talk real. Let's talk straight. Let's talk what's going on. You're planning to buy. It's still a great time to look and be strategic. Right, but just understand something. If you're buying right now, today, there are external factors that come into play, right? People's emotions, what's happening with COVID, all these things come into play. So don't just go by stats. Don't just go by, this is what it should be, right? If you're buying now, understand what factors are involved while you're buying now. It might not just be about the house being built down the street and they sold for this price. There could be a whole bunch of other factors involved, right? So keep that in mind, right? Different municipalities have different wants and needs, right? Maybe an easy analogy would be, you have 10 people and 7 out of 10 of them are medium sizes for a shirt. Well, what that means is that medium one is popular, right? And you're going to have more issues trying to find one of those. But then you have one person who wants an extra small. They might not have a hard time finding something, right? Because there might be one there for them, right? You might have someone that wants a triple XL. Well, there might be one for them. But the problem is that once that one is gone, the other person who wanted one, right? So although this seems kind of confusing what I'm saying, if you actually break down what I just said there, the average person wants that medium. So those are gone, those are fast, those are readily available, those are get made, those are get gone, those are here, there, boom, boom, boom. The rare one for the extra small or the triple XL, not as many people looking for them, right? So the specialty buys, but once they're gone, then it's harder to find them, which that could create a change in the market as well. So
blind demand.
It's blind demand. So, you can have different markets within the same market, depending on what you're buying. So my advice is, know what you're buying. Talk to a realtor, like I always say, who to call.
That's right. Number will be down below, all right, guys?
But understand what you're buying, why you're buying it, and make out a plan, and then we can figure out what we're going to do. The market's going to head where it's going to head, but are you able to sustain yourself in the market that we're in right now? That's the real question you guys should all be asking yourself, right? It's if I am going to buy right now, am I buying for an investment or am I buying to live in? If I'm buying for living, am I able to sustain this market right now? Right? If I'm buying for investment, then understand, do I have the holding power, to wait for it to become a better deal, right?
Worst case scenario, can I live in this thing for like 10, 20 years?
Well,
right?
no, it's true, Rick.
I know.
I have some clients that, bought investment properties and they're paying out of their pocket monthly, right? But, they made a lot of money because they sold it 5 years later and the market went up. But they had the holding power to be able to hold it. Now, the biggest problem for some people is that they want to get an investment property, but they don't have the holding power. Now, we'll talk about investments and holding powers with the other video that we're going to do about detached versus strata buying and how
That's
to
going
invest.
to be a long video. I already feel it.
Yeah. Might need something else besides water in here then.
Most likely. And I mean, that pretty much sums up this episode, guys, unless there's anything last tidbit or anything you want to add. Any last...
No, I'm good.
That's it. Yeah, it was a long one. Sorry, guys, we went kind of
long
over because it's going to be just over 30 minutes.
I don't shut up. That's my problem.
People tell that about me as well, so this might be good if you
Shut
guys
up.
are interested for the extra content, man. Okay, but that's pretty much about it, guys, for this episode. I mean, like, comment, and subscribe, like we always say. Give us your comments down below. Even email us. whatever you want.
We got more hoodies out there. So,
Merch.
like you said, get in contact with us. You have questions, how as Rick says, we want, there's only so many hoodies we can wear.
Yeah, that's true.
So, let us hand them out.
Of course, drop it in the comments, guys. We'll send you a hoodie, all right? And that's pretty much it, guys. I got more videos coming for you guys this week.
You know what? I just thought about this right now by looking at Rick's hair, right? If we get, right?
No,
If we get,
I'm not shaving my head.
No, not about shaving your head.
Okay.
If we get, I would say, how many likes? If we get 100 likes at least, and that's not that many. If we get 100 likes in our next video, we will dye Rick's hair
What?
a color, and you guys can choose. How about that? Rick, you good with that?
I might be.
He hesitated, so he means yes, right? That's one of my sales
see.
techniques. You hesitate, it means the answer I want. So get us 100 likes, share, whatever you gotta do, and we will change Rick's hair color. His
And
wife might
smash
hate
the
us.
thumbs up button because it helps this video. Show it to other people as well, guys.
Yeah, so
all
if you want to see Rick with a different hair, share it, stream it, do whatever you gotta do, and we will change his hairstyle. Well, I mean, pink,
Hey, if that's what it takes to get 100
Right.
likes, sure, guys. All right, you heard it here.
gray. It's a nice yellow. Yellow. Actually, I want to go Surrey blonde.
Hide the grays. All right, for me.
How about white? We go straight white.
man. We'll see about that, guys. Okay, we're gonna end it off with that one before it gets too crazy here. All right, like, comment, and subscribe. British Columbia Real Estate Podcast. Thank you to all the listeners on the audio platforms as well. It will be on Apple iTunes very soon as well. With that, we are out of here. See you later, everybody. Till the next episode.